Hey guys, welcome to the Deans Boys Show, and for you guys truly, it's a special addition to the podcast series because last night I went to the Motorpoint Arena to meet the one and only Mr. Ass, Badass, Billy Gunn, who was telling his stories, telling us what he went through with the WWE, TNA, and in the Indies and in New Japan. Also, I actually had the fortunate opportunity to actually sit down with him and have an interview, and it's a brief 7-minute interview, but still, hey ho, it's for you guys. It's a nice interview, little podcast, and I haven't interviewed a wrestler in ages. The last time I interviewed one was Shane Douglas, and I think that was last year, or probably longer than that. So, I remember going up to Billy Gunn and just asking him, is it okay if I can have an interview? Because it's going to go into my uni course portfolio, which it is, So it's great. He actually went, yeah, of course. And he said, if I don't help you get an A+, don't blame me. And I just went, fair enough, And but yeah, he was a cool guy. He was a nice guy. So I won't waste any of your time. Here's the podcast episode. Before I get down to the podcast episode, I just want to say a quick and a big thank you to Exposure Wrestling Entertainment, especially to Nigel, who runs Exposure, because if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be interviewing most of the wrestlers that I've interviewed, especially Raven and Shane Douglas, because every time he does a meet and greet, I always approach him a couple of days, or probably on the day itself, just to ask for a brief interview with the wrestler. And Nigel, without hesitation, just went, yeah, go for it. We'll give you that. He's always given that opportunity to me. So I just want to say to everyone on the team of Exposure Wrestling Entertainment, if you need any help with anything, just give me a shout. And I want to say a big thank you as well for giving me that opportunity. Right. Hey guys, welcome to the Deansy Boy Show podcast, and I'm here at the Cardiff Motorpoint Arena, and I'm sat here next to the one and only, the badass, former Intercontinental champion, tag team champion, hardcore champion, the badass Billy Gunn. Billy, thank you for helping me do this project and coming on the show. It means a lot.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Glad to do it. Yeah. Hopefully it'll turn out right for you. It might not, so don't put that on me if it doesn't turn out right. That's not my fault. It's your fault because you're doing this. So you got to take the blame.
Yeah. Just a quick question. You before you started off in the professional wrestling business, you were a bull rider. Mm-hmm. I want to know about that because a lot of people have always asked you wrestling questions. Tag team this, hardcore that, Intercontinental.
Because that's way more interesting than the riding bulls and training horses thing.
Yeah. But what was it like for you as a bull rider?
It was great. I grew up doing that my entire life. That's what my life plan was. Did it since I was a little bitty kid. I mean, I was on a horse before I could walk. I loved it. I did it all through high school, went to college doing it, went to college finals, went pro. And then one day it just wasn't fun for me anymore. And when you're doing things that dangerous, a sport that dangerous, if it's not fun and you're not fully committed, it's the same thing with wrestling. If you're not fully committed, bad things are going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's even worse there. So I just one day didn't want to do it anymore, and it wasn't in my heart like it used to be. And then that's what led me into the wrestling business. But I loved it when I did it. That's my whole childhood.
Just to go into of course, WWF, when you were tag team champions with Chuck, with the whole, now in today's world, the LGBTQ community and everything, right? Would that have worked in today's day and age of wrestling?
It could have, but it would have had to have been maneuvered just a little bit different because when me and Chuck did it, it was just all out. It was all out craziness. It wasn't anything that offensive, but it was very suggestible. You college people know better words, so you can insert the words there because I'm not good with words. I think it was a little bit over the top at first. I mean, we could have toned it down to fit what today's society would have taken, but I feel it would have been, I feel maybe today people don't have the sense of humor they had back then, so it might not work. But we would sure have tried if they'd have let us.
Right, the greatest Royal Rumble has just gone past. WrestleMania has gone past, but in today's tag team division, you know, we've had Braun Strowman with a 12-year-old kid as tag team champions.
Ridiculous, by the way, and it insults what I've worked so hard to do, by the way, just in case.
I was going to say, I was with my mates and we just sat there watching. I'm thinking a lot of people who've held the tag team titles are going to be pissed off.
Yeah, and I get it story-wise, and what they were trying to do is understand that, well, let him do it by himself and not have tag titles on the line, because it just kind of, for me, it kind of hits close to home and makes it really not that sufficient. And I worked hard, or, you know, me and, you know, the whole tag division works hard to make it what it is, and they just kind of pooped on it.
Well, what's your thoughts on the tag team division now then?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, I think there's some tags coming up that are going to be good, and I think there's going to be some more maneuvering around, because I think if we watch the Usos in the New Day one more time, I'm not going to be able to stomach it. Not that they don't have good matches, that's not what I'm saying, but it's only so many times I can watch them work.
Yeah.
Nothing against them, but they just need to filter in more people. They just need to filter and make that division mean something. And I think, and not tooting my own horn, I think the last time they actually meant something is the last run we had again with them, right? It was always seemed like when you need the tag titles to mean something, you bring in the heavy guns. No one, pun intended, the New Age Outlaws.
Yeah. That's a great pun intended as well. Just to clarify on the hardcore title now, of course, they're not doing it, PG, political cricket. But when you were hardcore champion, I heard when I was doing my research that it was you and the Road Dogg, you were going to have like an Intercontinental title hardcore, and next you know, they swapped.
Yeah, it was storyline wise of what they were going, because everybody had pictured me for the Intercontinental run, and then him as a hardcore, because he is a hardcore guy when you get right down to it. There's nothing hardcore about what I do. I'm a very finesse kind of guy.
Yeah.
And then they put that on me, and I just wanted to run away and quit. Because that just means that anybody at any time can hit me with things. I don't like to be hit with things. I like to see them coming at least before I get hit with things. But it was like a 24/7 deal with that. So like I'm having to walk around my house and mow my yard and look over my shoulder to see if somebody's going to whack me with something.
So final question, right? Where does the future hold for the one and only Billy Gunn?
I have a plot right outside my house that has a big stone on it that says, "Rest in peace." No, like it went like really quiet. Everybody got really serious. Like, oh my God, already? I want to open a school of my own and just kind of give back to, I guess, the younger guys that want to learn something and learn how to get over, and learn whatever I can teach them, whatever I have to teach. I don't know it all by no means, and that's not what I'm saying, but I have a piece of the puzzle that can get to make them an all-around person, I feel. So I'd like to give back.
Well, thank you very much for taking your time and the opportunity to have this interview, and thank you so much, and all the best in the future. So this is the one and only Billy Gunn signing off, and thank you very much for going on the Deansy Boys Show.
And if you don't get an A for this project, don't blame me.
Oh, I won't blame you. I'll blame Shane Douglas. And we'll see you very soon.